You know how sometimes you watch those esports tournaments and think, hey, I play that game sometimes. This can't be that different.
Uh-huh. Like it's just a bit more practice.
Exactly. It's like thinking you're a master chef because you can boil water.
Right.
Well, today, we're plunging into the real deal,
Yeah.
what it actually takes to go pro in gaming.
Right.
We've got this really interesting document, How to Become a Pro Gamer, and we're going to try and pull out the key stuff, the things that really separate the casual player from, the elite.
Yeah, absolutely. And this document, it doesn't pull any punches. It lays out a really demanding path.
Okay.
We're talking game selection, the basics, that intense practice, the grind, as they call it, breaking into the scene, the lifestyle. It's a lot.
So basically a shortcut for us to understand what's really involved.
You got it. It's serious business.
Okay, let's dive in. First up, choosing your game and building a foundation. The doc says right away, passion isn't enough. You need aptitude too.
Yeah.
Why isn't just loving a game going to cut it?
Well, think about the hours. We're talking thousands, potentially tens of thousands of hours.
Wow.
Passion fuels that, definitely. You need it to push through the frustration, the plateaus. But aptitude, that's your natural knack for it.
So you might love, say, strategy games, but your reflexes are lightning fast.
Exactly. Maybe you're wired for an FPS, even if you like RTS games more. It's about being honest about where your talents actually lie if you want the best shot at making it long term.
Right, makes sense. Because then it talks about mastering the basics. And this isn't just, knowing the rules loosely.
Oh, no. It's deep.
It sounds like knowing the game rules, every character ability, map layouts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like needing the building blueprints, isn't it?
Precisely that. Think about a pro athlete. They don't just know the rules of their sport, they know the physics, the nuances, the absolute limits.
Okay.
So in gaming, knowing the rules inside out lets you find exploits. Knowing every ability detail means instinct takes over in fights. And maps, it's not just paths, it's sight lines, choke points, predicting where people will be.
So it mentions specifics like aiming in FPS.
Yeah, or super fast mouse keyboard work in MOBAs or RTS games. Those complex combos in fighting games too. That stuff has to be automatic, second nature.
And that level of knowing doesn't just happen. It stresses consistent practice. Sounds simple, but what's consistent here really mean?
It means relentless. It's like a musician practicing scales for hours or an athlete drilling fundamentals.
Daily. Structured.
Absolutely. Daily, structured sessions, setting a schedule and sticking to it, even when you really don't feel like it. That's how you build the muscle memory, the deep understanding. It's deliberate effort.
Okay, so you've picked your game, you've got that passion aptitude mix, you've drilled the basics relentlessly.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? The doc talks about developing essential skills, and this seems like where it gets really layered. First is mechanical skill.
Right. This is about pure execution.
Like how fast and accurately you can do things in the game.
Exactly. Executing actions with precision and efficiency, as the doc says. So for an FPS player, it's not just hitting targets, it's consistent headshots under immense pressure.
Okay.
For RTS or MOBA players, it's that incredibly fast, accurate clicking and keyboard work, managing lots of things at once, complex sequences, fighting games, frame-perfect combos. These mechanics are the foundation for everything else.
It's almost like the controller or keyboard has to vanish, just become part of you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Then there's game sense. That sounds fuzzier, like an intuitive understanding. How do you even build intuition?
That's a great question. Game sense is that almost spooky ability. Top players have to just know what's about to happen.
Like a sixth sense?
Sort of. It comes from thousands of hours, recognizing patterns subconsciously, predicting enemy movements, knowing the right time to attack an objective, feeling the flow of the match.
Things you can't just read in a guide.
Exactly. It's absorbed through playing, through watching, through paying attention on a really deep level. And crucially, adapting your actions based on that intuition. That's key.
Makes sense, like a chess grandmaster seeing lines of play instantly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then strategic thinking. This sounds more conscious, more like planning.
It is. This is the brain work guiding the mechanics in the game sense.
Yeah.
It's about having a plan A, plan B, plan C, anticipating what your opponent will do, finding their weaknesses.
Like pre-match prep?
Definitely that, but also adapting during the match. The doc makes a good point. You can't be rigid. You need to think on your feet, change the plan if it's not working, be the architect and the firefighter.
Okay. And for team games, it highlights communication and teamwork. Seems obvious, but how vital is it really at the pro level?
Oh, it's everything in team games. You could have 5 individually amazing players
And still lose.
and still get crushed if they don't communicate and coordinate. Clear call-outs about enemies, objectives, plans. It needs to be seamless. It's about synergy, making the team more than the sum of its parts.
Right, turning talent into a unit. Okay, so you've got the foundation, the skills are sharp. Now comes the grind. That word alone sounds rough.
And it often is. This is where the fantasy of just playing games all day kind of shatters.
How so?
Because it's about structured practice, not just playing rank matches over and over. It's about identifying specific weaknesses. Maybe your aim is shaky in certain situations, or you panic under pressure, and then doing targeted drills, specific exercises, just focusing on that one thing until it improves. It's deliberate, often tedious work.
The document mentions replay analysis, like watching game film in sports.
Exactly like that. Watching your own games back and games of top pros is huge.
Cringing at your mistakes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But you see what you did wrong, where you hesitated, what opportunities you missed, and watching pros, you see why they're pros. They're positioning their decisions. It's a massive learning tool.
And you need to check your ego, right?
Yeah.
It says seeking feedback from others is important.
Oh, absolutely crucial. You need to be humble enough to listen. Experienced players, coaches, they see things you miss. They spot your bad habits. Getting that outside view, that constructive criticism, is vital to breaking through plateaus.
And the games themselves are always changing, aren't they? It talks about staying updated on the meta. What's that about?
Yeah, the meta game. It's basically the current best way to play. What characters are strong, what strategies dominate, what items are popular.
Because developers patch the games.
Exactly. Patches change things, players discover new tricks. The whole landscape shifts constantly. Pros have to keep up, adapt their style, learn the new optimal ways to play, or they just fall behind fast.
And through all this intense practice and pressure, there's mental fortitude, handling the stress.
Precisely. Tournament pressure, big money on the line. It's immense, and losing is guaranteed to happen. You can't let it crush you.
What's tilt? It mentions avoiding that.
Tilt is when frustration or anger takes over and you start making bad decisions because you're emotional, not rational.
Yeah.
Big problem. So developing mental resilience, staying focused under pressure, bouncing back from losses quickly, that's as important as mechanical skill, maybe more so at the top.
Any techniques mentioned?
Sometimes things like mindfulness, breathing exercises, ways to stay calm and composed.
Okay, so you've done the grind, built the skills, got the mental game. How do you actually, get noticed?
Yeah.
Enter the competitive scene.
First step usually involves online tournaments, leagues. That's where you gain experience, start building a name, get some results on paper, like a competitive CV.
Okay, proving yourself.
Yeah, and it's not just playing networking is mentioned, talking to people.
Right. Connecting with other players, managers, people in the scene. It sounds like who you know can matter.
It absolutely can. Finding tryouts, getting advice, joining teams. Those connections help open doors. It's a community, even if it's competitive.
It also mentions building a presence, streaming, content creation. Is that necessary?
Not strictly necessary for everyone, but it's definitely a big asset these days.
How so?
Streaming your gameplay shows off your skills directly, builds a fan base that can attract teams, sponsors, people looking for talent and personality. Making guides or videos shows expertise too. Makes you a more complete package, you know?
Gotcha. Okay, fast forward. You've made it. You're a pro gamer. The next section, the pro gamer lifestyle, sounds intense.
Yeah, the reality check part, it's a full-time job. Seriously, full-time.
Like 9 to 5.
Often more. The doc says 8 to 12 hours of practice daily is common, plus team meetings, strategy sessions, reviewing games.
Wow.
And then travel for tournaments, boot camps. It's demanding. Forget just rolling out of bed to play games for fun.
So dedication and discipline and a strong work ethic.
Yeah.
It's just like any other pro career.
Exactly. The commitment has to be absolute. The pressure's high, there's money involved, you're under a microscope with fans and critics.
And what about, actually living? Health and well-being gets a mention. Easy to forget, I bet.
Very easy and very dangerous to neglect. Sitting all day, intense focus,
Right.
it takes a toll.
So exercise, diet.
Crucial. Regular exercise, healthy food for brain function, enough sleep for recovery, huge. And stress management. Burnout is a real risk if you don't take care of yourself. It's about sustainability, longevity in the career.
Makes total sense. Okay, finally, what it takes to keep improving and winning. So you get to the top, and the work doesn't stop.
Never stops. Complacency is death in esports.
Yeah.
The game evolves, players get better. You have to keep learning, keep adapting.
Constantly refining skills.
Constantly. And being really self-aware. Knowing your strength, but more importantly, knowing your weaknesses and actively working on them.
That adaptability thing again. New metas, new opponents.
You have to adjust constantly, and resilience is key here too. You'll lose tournaments, you will have slumps. Bouncing back, learning from it, not letting it break you. That's vital.
And professionalism, both in and out of the game.
Right. Representing your team, yourself, the sponsors,
Yeah.
it's expected at that level.
So wrapping this up, becoming a pro gamer is, wow, so much more than just being good at a video game.
Night and day difference.
It's this whole package.
Mm-hmm.
The raw talent, sure, but then insane dedication, the skills, technical, strategic, mental discipline, professionalism. It really is a demanding career.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating look behind the curtain.
What's really interesting, though, is thinking about how these ideas, dedication, learning, resilience, practice, apply elsewhere.
Beyond gaming.
Yeah, like
Right.
whatever field you're in, whatever challenge you're tackling, what's the game you're trying to master? And what are the skills you need to grind, the meta you need to adapt to really win at it? Something to think about.